how did Pete Davidson come about to be like directing it and all this? How did this relationship develop?
So Pete and I have been friends for a long time. You know, Pete saw me in New York City when he was like 16. And I was, you know, I think I was opening for Bill Burr at Caroline's, and I just see this lanky kid, and, you know, and he was just, and then I saw him again at Stand Up New York, and he was like, hey man, love the podcast. I didn't know it was really nice. And then we had the same manager at one point when we were working the stand, and we just were friends, and I put him on the Virzi effect when he was 18, before everything, and we just stayed cool. But like, you know, we were talking, and he's like, dude, he's like, I'd love to, you know, direct your special. And then he told me one time, he's like, dude, you know, like, this is the best shit you've done. And he was like, you know, and he came out on stage the night of the taping, and he goes, I saw Paul at 16, and I saw him perform in the city, and he became one of my favorite comics, and he wanted to be a part of it. You know, Pete asked me, you know, we were hanging out, he's like, I'd love to be a part of it, I'd love to put my name behind it. And so, you know, Pete is one of the best, most misunderstood kids. I've said that millions of times. He's the fucking best. He's actually down to earth and the sweetest. He's so fucking cool and down to earth, like people would not believe how fucking chill he is and cool. And yeah, man, he's one of my best friends. He's like a little brother to me. So but yeah, he wanted to be a part of it because of, you know, as he was coming up, he saw me and was like, oh, I want to do that. That was pretty cool.
Wow. And then, like you said, reference that you were opening for Bill Burr. When into your career, you started in 2000, like how long into your career did you start opening up for Bill Burr?
So, yeah.
And how did that happen?
I did a spot. It was Thanksgiving weekend in 2005, and Bobby Kelly came in for the Wednesday, Thanksgiving Eve, and then Bill came in on Friday, Saturday. And he was just like, dude, you know, that was so, he's like, were you the other guy on the show? And he goes, I was downstairs. I heard it. You killed. I'm going to watch you. So then he referred me to a room. And I did well there. He heard I did well at the room he referred me to, and he goes, hey, how about next time I do that room, you work with me? So then like around 07, we became friends. And then I remember one day in 2008, he goes, hey, I'm going to watch DC Improv. You want to open? And I was like, yeah. And we just kind of been, you know, and it's like my family now. So, you know, opening for him and, you know, having him believe in me, you know, it was pretty cool, because I would just be like home chilling, and somebody would go, hey, dude, Burr just called you a beast on his podcast. And it meant a lot, because I knew Bill doesn't put that out there. And I know Bill's not somebody to ever give. One thing he always says is like, you never give false hope. So I know Bill would never fucking go on his podcast to his fans and say that, and, you know, say the nice things like that. Paul Virzi is a beast. It meant a lot, because I knew. It's funny, I'm actually see his name right there
on the wall.
Yeah, right there. It's right there in the corner. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. But so yeah, I think that having somebody like that say that is also adds to your confidence, because you're dealing with one of the best, and they see what you're doing, and they see your progression, and they start saying things they think you're gonna do, and it's completely fucking humbling, and it's like it gets you through.
What are some of the biggest lessons you've learned from like working with him so closely?
You know, I don't know. I don't know if it would be lessons of stand-up, because we are just different people. You know, like his approach is obvious. Like we're just different. But I think just kind of doing something where it's like, you're not leaving, are you? Oh, are you?
No.
We've got two. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I'll say goodbye. Well, yeah, when I'm done, hang out.
We got 2.5 minutes.
No, it's all right. We go longer.
Oh, word. Oh, can you pull that door back the other way? Yeah, there's a light on it. Can you push it all the way back?
This way?
Yeah. Appreciate it. Yeah.
You know, we can go longer.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Oh, we made it. We ran the light. All right.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, you know, Bill has his way, I have my way, but I think just being honest. You know, I think just being fucking honest. Like, just like, you know, one thing I learned, I remember one time I told a joke, and there was like an exaggerated part of the joke. And he goes, all right, now tell me what really happened. Right? So it was like, yeah, that's exaggerated, but how did it really happen? And then you say how it really happened. He's like, see, that's funnier, or as funny. So you don't have to do so that was one thing that I remember when I was younger. You know, I can't remember the joke exactly. It was a strip club joke. It was a strip club joke. I was in a strip club, and I'm like such a nice guy. So I remember like that shit. Like I'm nice in parts where I shouldn't be. So I'm in a strip club, and this chick is just sitting there like a fucking, man, when was this, dude? I was, where was I? I was in a strip club. I was probably like 18, 19 years old, whatever. And this chick is just standing there and her fucking tits are out. And I just was like, hey, do you have a family? And she goes, yeah, I have a son. And I remember being like, what are you doing here? And she goes, are you a cop? And but my version of it was like something exaggerated.
Right.
And Burr goes, no, that's funny. Just her saying, are you a cop? But I tried to make it some different thing.
Yeah.
You know, like made it more about her kid and her son and like going into the, you know, she got pictures of her kids in the fucking lap dance room and Bill was like, you don't need to, I remember this was a long time ago. I was like, oh yeah. So I think like just doing shit like that, you know, cause I was really younger at the time when I would do that. Like it's weird. Like you say jokes to somebody like that and you're like, now you're like, oh fuck, I said that. But I was young.
Of course.
You know, so yeah, but no, just like, we're so similar as how we like treat people, man. Treat everybody with respect and just be cool. We're, you know, just kind of, you know, easy going, get along. Guys that like sports, we have a good time talking. So it was kind of like similar type of shit like that. So it just worked. It just worked.
Yeah, and I love seeing, and what we're all about here at Hot Breath is like comics helping comics and being like a positive and supportive community for comedians to develop. Because coming up, when I came up, I mean, I came up in the hood rooms of Atlanta. Like white people didn't mess with me. Like I went where there was stage time.
Me
like
too. I came up in black rooms in New York.
It was the best.
Yeah,
because black people are honest. Like when you perform for black people, you got to be authentic and honest, and they'll laugh. But white people, you know, sometimes you can hide behind cleverness. But when you perform in front of black people, they're like, well, what's the real deal here?
Yeah,
you know, and that really helps you early on in that. Just being white boy Joel. That's how I came up in this game.
Yeah. That's cool. I respect that. I appreciate that because I did that too.
Did you ever get booed? Any like rough bombs like that? Thanks for watching Hot Breath the Verse. If you enjoyed this clip, subscribe to see our 400 plus comedy interviews and click this video up here to hear Paul Virzi's worst bomb story ever.